So the big conversation over the week, actually it's been about 2 weeks, and they've been talking about the Apple Music top 100 best albums. And it's a lot of them to kind of talk about. Right? So we just gonna kind of vibe out, let y'all like see this list. We ain't gonna name them all, but we gonna kind of cycle through it while we have a conversation, and just point out a couple of our favorites. And if any of these albums, Astroworld, Travis Scott, one of my favorite Travis Scott albums. If any of these albums kind of stand out to you, say something in the chat. If you feel like any of these songs should be a little higher, let us know what song you feel is missing. What song should be higher, what song should not be on the list. Usher Confessions at 95 is crazy though. That's a top 20 album of all time. Definitely. That's crazy. I don't even know who that is. A Seat at the Table, Solange. Okay. I slept on. I love Solange, but I really didn't get into that album. Is that one that got Cranes in the Sky in it? I don't know. Flower Boy by Tyler the Creator. I like that album. George Michael, AC/DC, keep going. Lady Gaga, yeah. I Put a Spell on You by Nina Simone. Yes. I might want to get that record. That's something that's a collector's item. Now that's classic. Massive Attack, Blues Lies, My Life, Mary J. Blige at 86. Oh, that's also got to be a top 20. That's also got to be a top 20. What we got? Casey goes Doggy Style at 84. Get Rich or Die Trying at 82. Man, that's a top 20 album. Maybe, I'm a little biased because we're talking hip hop. The Marshall Mathers LP, I remember buying that and listening to it over and over and over again, man. This was a great body of work by Eminem. Lana Del Rey, Norman effing Rockwell. Okay. Elton John. Like a Prayer by Madonna. Missy Elliott, Super Duper Fly. Yeah, that Missy Elliott probably should be top 50 at least. SOS SZA. Yeah, man. That one's going to go down in history. That SZA album's going to go down in history. Like, it took a minute for it to soak in for me, but the vibes is never everlasting on that album. Straight Outta Compton, NWA at 70. Some 3 Feet High and Rising, De La Soul. Erykah Badu, Baduism, 64. Jimi Hendrix, The Experience, Are You Experienced? 63. Tupac, All Eyes on Me at 62, another top 20 album. They tripping. Definitely top 20 album. It's a double album at that. Love Deluxe by Sade, top 20. I guess I'm going to just say everything top 20. Voodoo D'Angelo. I love this album. I actually bought that album. I would say it's top 50. I don't know. Maybe not. Anti by Rihanna. Yes, this is the one that Rihanna kind of just knew she could kind of just bow out the game after she dropped Anti. She was like, oh, okay, yeah. We ain't gonna top this. We up out of here. Will we ever get a new album from Rihanna? John Coltrane, The Love Supreme, The Rolling Stones, Guns N' Roses, Prince, Sign of the Times. Now I'm gonna go back and check this one out. And I think Prince got 2 on this list, as he deserves to. U2, Beastie Boys, Paul's Boutique, Take Care, 47. Okay. Is this the album of Drake's that's considered a classic? Some folks will say that Nothing Was the Same should be a classic, and some folks say that So Far Gone is his best album. It's his first album, of course. Take Care probably is the one that's a classic for real. I'm gonna kind of go back and revisit that. Check that one out. Exodus, Bob Marley and the Wailers. And that's what I'm going to do. For the whole month of June, I'm listening to all these albums. Even the rock albums. I'm listening to all of them. I'm going to rock out in the car, between my podcast and other stuff that I listen to. I'm going to rock out to all these albums. Maybe not this one, though. Homogenic by Bjork. Stevie Wonder, Inner Visions. Okay. I think Stevie Wonder got 2 on this list for sure. Because Songs in the Key of Life definitely going to be on the list. Control by Janet Jackson. This is a collector's item. I would like to get my hands on this record. Aquemini by Outkast. At 41, this is a top 20 album for me. Maybe even top 10. But which one of y'all like more? Aquemini or Speakerbox and The Love Below? I think I'll take Aquemini. Top 10 album. Aretha Franklin, I Never Loved a Man the Way I Love You. I'm going to rock out to that. I wasn't really old enough to really kind of know the impact of this album. I know that song and a couple of others from this album. I think she got You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman on that album. So yeah, top 40. Maybe it should be a little higher than that. Nas, Illmatic. Definitely a top 20 album. Maybe top 10. Especially in hip hop. Enter the Wu-Tang over the Illmatic. Nah, they tripping with that. Enter the Wu-Tang should be like a 70 or something like that. It was a great album. I remember buying this one too. I had to take. Beyonce. Maybe Beyonce got a couple of albums on this list. Maybe she got 2 because Lemonade definitely is going to be on this list. I already know. But I also enjoyed this one. This was one of them ones for me. The Clash. Public Enemy, It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back. Kid A by Radiohead. Ready to Die at 32 by Notorious B.I.G. Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill. I love this album. Definitely a top 20 album for me. Alanis Morissette, man, I still listen to this album, when I get sad or, kind of when I'm in one of the moods, man. This album, I just want to point out how great this album is. Billie Eilish, When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? She also just dropped the album this weekend. Billie Eilish is all over the charts this week. Probably going to have the number 1 album in the country. And I really haven't gotten into her music, but I'll go check this album out since it's at number 30. And we're going to see what it sounds like. The Low End Theory by a Tribe Called Quest. All right. The Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd. Yeah, this is a classic. Top 10 album at number 28. Everything can't make the top 10, so I might y'all let me know if I name too many that should be in the top 10. But that Pink Floyd is the vibes. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, top 10 album. Like Kanye's best album, in my opinion. At number 26, that's a bit too low on the list. At least top 20. Just the beats, the rhymes, the features. This was one of them ones, man. Whenever I want to get into my producer bag, I play this album. Kinda Blue by Miles Davis. I think I have this record. And these are good Sunday, easy listening vibes. Okay. David Bowie, rest in peace, David Bowie. Daft Punk, Discovery. I never listened to this one. Born to Run, Born in the USA, Bruce Springsteen. The Beatles, The Revolver. Okay, you can't have a top albums list without the Beatles, but this one wasn't the one that I thought would be on the list. The Beach Boys, top 20. I don't know about that one, especially over All Eyes on Me and My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Nah, get out of here with that. Okay, Dr. Dre, The Chronic. Yes, sir. Probably a top 10 album, especially if you're a hip hop connoisseur. And Dr. Dre 2001 definitely, all he really dropped was classics, to tell you the truth. Or, he really didn't drop them if they wasn't classic. 1989 by Taylor Swift. I like this album. I've agreed that it's a top 20 album. I wouldn't put it in top 10, But this was one of them ones. And then she came back the Taylor versions and re-released it, and it still sounded just as great. So yeah, What's Going On by Marvin Gaye, top 10 album. And I'm gonna go back and listen to this one for sure. Joni Mitchell, this one's called Blue. Adele, 21. I love this album and her voice. I feel like it's still a little bit too high on the list. Bob Dylan, Highway 61. The Blueprint, Jay-Z. Probably Jay-Z's arguably best album, but he has a couple of different classics. You could say Hard Knock Life, Volume 2 is a classic, and American Gangster, and others. Radiohead, Rumors by Fleetwood Mac. Okay, there we go. Lemonade at number 10. Beyonce. Once again, she got 2 albums on the top 100, and this is the one. This is the one. But I also like the Beyonce album as well. This is also one of the ones for me. Nirvana. This album kind of changed the landscape of rock. Changed a lot of things up. Yeah, Nirvana. Smells Like Teen Spirit. And this cover is just iconic as well. Rest in peace to Kurt Cobain. Amy Winehouse, Back to Black. Rest in peace to Amy Winehouse. Yeah, she had a short career. She was supposed to still be with us. And I'm going to go and listen to this because I really, I listen to her, here and there. And the Rehab song and a couple of, other songs. But I never really kind of let the album play all the way out. But, that's a Sunday. Listen. Good Kid, Mad City, man. One of my favorite albums of hip hop history. Kendrick Lamar blew me away with this one. It's like a movie, a short film actually. And I regret that they never really made a short film out of this. And I think that that's a good idea. Somebody should make a movie out of this album. I'll pay tickets to see that. Okay, Songs in the Key of Life by Stevie Wonder. Definitely should be top 5. Definitely one of the best albums of all time, and we definitely gonna play this one. Go back and play this one. But Blonde over Songs in the Key of Life, I disagree. Frank Ocean, this was a great album by Frank Ocean, but I wouldn't put it over the albums that I did, like Lemonade, Stevie Wonder. Nah, I wouldn't do that. Not even over Nirvana. Nah. Purple Rain, yes sir. Top 10 album. The movie, the album, the cover, everything about this album, man. I love it. Okay, Abbey Road. I knew the Beatles was gonna have another album in the top 100. This was the one. And they're not gonna disrespect the Beatles. They're gonna put them in the top 10. Michael Jackson, Thriller at number 2, believe it or not. So that leaves but the number 1. And this is kind of, they should have had Off the Wall also on the top 100 of Michael Jackson. Off the Wall was a wonderful album, and Thriller is a masterpiece. Shout out to Quincy Jones. Rest in peace to Michael Jackson. Yeah, this is arguably the number 1 album of all time, but definitely top 3. And Lauryn Hill, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, as the number 1 album according to Apple Music, top albums of all time. And this is a front to back masterpiece. Lauryn Hill was pretty much one and done with this one, even though she dropped other albums that were kind of like, collections of music. I think that I would have put Jill Scott on album on this list. I think that they missing the Jill Scott album. Yeah, man, I love me some Jill Scott. Why she ain't on the list? Ain't tripping with that. But nevertheless, yeah, who is Jill Scott? The first one? That's one of them ones for me. I just love Jill Scott though. I ain't gonna front. Like I'm in love with Jill Scott. She's one of my favorite artists of all time. I think Erykah Baduism is top 100, but it probably should have been higher too. But yeah, shout out once again to Lauryn Hill for having the top album according to Apple Music, and everybody that was on that list. Again, we're gonna kind of like revisit that list if you want to listen with us and kind of go back, even the rock albums, even the blues, Miles Davis, all those. And I think I'm gonna actually kind of keep that list. I'm gonna save it in my phone, and I'm gonna try the rest of my life. I'm gonna try to see if I can find all the records. I want all the vinyl of all those albums for a collection. That would be super dope. Super, super, super dope. All right, so